Hey everybody, and welcome to another video. My name is Tanya Sheikh and I'm a self-employed interior designer, and I'd like to share this information with my audience who are interested in interior design and whoever wants to pursue a career in this field. So basically, my design journey began right after I completed my interior design diploma back in 2017. Sounds like quite a long time ago. Yeah, so after I finished my diploma, I was fortunate enough to land my first client. Quite soon, actually. I was just wrapping up the end of my diploma, and yeah, through my own circle of friends, through my own social circle, I was able to kind of land my first project. However, I do want to let you know that before that I had been practicing design within my own household, within my own family, so I was quite familiar with multiple things like market surveys, interacting with labor parties, discussing things with contractors, how to manage all of that. So I was in the process of training myself on how to actually get that done professionally for somebody else. And yeah, so I ended up renovating this space for my friend's mom, and it was a smaller makeover. It was just a small living room, some paint job here and there, changing upholstery, kind of changing up the setting, making making the living room look a bit more fresher, a bit more airy, because the space was quite small. And honestly, just that refreshing that upholstery, those window treatments, and that paint job made such a huge difference. And yeah, that's how I landed my first paid project. That was not from of course, my immediate family or my extended family. Apart from that, so that's how my design journey began. One thing led to another, and I would strongly recommend to you all that if you're starting out on your design journey, referrals are key. I cannot emphasize this as I can't emphasize this enough. It actually your success depends all about your success depends upon the amount of referrals that you get, especially in the beginning, because you don't have that big of a portfolio. And yeah, so once I did their project, I had like a smaller portfolio that I did for my family as well. Combining that and the successful experience that my first client had with me, I was able to kind of broaden my client base. And yeah, social media was also key, because I used to promote all of the things that I was doing. Not promote as in paid promotions or any kind of advertisement, but I used to kind of keep my social circle posted on what I was doing, what work I was doing, what I was into, and word kind of got around, and smaller things, one thing led to the other. And I started doing smaller, bedroom makeovers for anybody who wanted to have like a quick refresh. So basically, I started out just doing interior decor, like smaller makeovers, just a paint refresh, upholstery change here and there, and that kind of built up. I was able to build that into larger renovation projects. When people saw that I was renovating spaces, smaller spaces, and I was able to do a good job, and I was able to kind of manage their budget and able to provide them services that they did not have time for, I was able to land a bigger project as well. I did my first bathroom and my first kitchen, I think a year after my first project, and that with the help of the labor party and the contractors and the subcontractors that I was working with beforehand, I was able to manage that. One thing that I will let you know throughout the journey from my first client to my first bathroom or kitchen makeover, first bathroom or kitchen renovation, I did develop a lot of skills that I trained myself for. I learned 3D modeling. That is key for anybody who is planning on professionally pursuing interior design. I cannot emphasize enough, you need to show your client what your design concept is. I needed to provide that conceptual communication, that what was going on in my mind and how I thought their space could be planned, and what kind of concept I thought would work in the space that they have, and the type of functionality that they required. So yeah, so 3D models do that. From my first design project to my first larger renovation project, I did manage to kind of develop these skills on how I was going to handle my clients, what kind of services and packages I was going to provide. However, I did learn on the way as well. I kind of built this technique as to how to provide an initial consultation. That's quite important. Initial consultations, and because you know what the thing is with the initial consult, the client or the potential client is able to kind of know who you are and see what you're capable of. So that's quite important. That first meeting, that first interaction with your potential client, first impressions, they matter the most. So yeah, so initial consults, and then we would, if they were serious and I'd give them the quote and they wanted to move forward with the service, after the quote we would go through this process of creating mood boards. I personally don't do like a single mood board. I kind of do like a whole full out presentation, because that's how I'm able to communicate more effectively. But we used to communicate through a series of mood boards, which kind of helped me gain and kind of gauge what their design preferences were after the initial consult, because you could kind of like refer a few design ideas and things like that and get their feedback from those mood boards, and that kind of helps you just implement things that they might like and things that they're kind of leaning more towards. So that's how we established the design direction. So once the design direction is kind of established, we move on to the third phase, which is our 3D model, and that's where the whole concept is built. For somebody who has been creating 3D models for around 5 years now, I can tell you, and I can't stress enough that the process where you're creating the model, and when you're actually creating that design virtually, that is where all of the work is done. And I always urge my clients not to kind of like make more money, but I do urge them to always go for the and I always urge them to go for the 3D. The reason for that is not for my own personal gains, right? Because obviously I'm going to charge for that. Not because of that, but because the actual design process takes place during that concept development phase. For example, if you have a feature wall that you think is gonna look great, and you don't have that visual representation, you don't have those professional renderings to kind of see how that's gonna work with all of your other things, with your flooring, with your furniture, with other elements in the room, you can't kind of visualize, or you can't actually see whether or not that's going to work. During the 3D process, what actually happens is that you kind of add and subtract multiple ideas and things that can be done to that space. You not only have multiple options, but you can kind of pick and choose which one works the best in regards to the sizing, in regards to the flooring, in regards to the ceiling design, and multiple other things, and how you're managing the floor plan, right? So 3D models, visual representation, design renderings, very important. That's where the actual work tends to happen. And yeah, so after building my process and my clientele, I was able to grow it to this scale where I have been working for developers, I have been working for private clients. The experience that you have on site, that is something that you learn once you are on the site, getting your hands dirty, going into the markets, selecting materials, seeing what issues arise when you're trying to implement that design. And yeah, after all of that hard work and all of those challenges, I did think, what's the next step? And when it comes to thinking about what you want to do more, how you want to grow as a person, as a designer as well, I thought that it was a good time to kind of take a step back and thought, how could this be done on a bigger scale? So for the next step for me was licensing. Licensing before, from what research I had done before doing my diploma, was something that was just limited to a few countries only, especially in Northern America. Interior design has become a field that's quite specialized. I do believe designers are taking on more responsibilities that were once only assigned to architects. So yeah, and that does involve a lot of licensing. That's where this video kind of moves forward, is licensing. I'm currently under the process of trying to gain that license, and for that I have to take a step back. I am enrolling back into design school. It's quite a heavy decision on my part, because I feel as if I had already kind of blossomed from that learning stage, and had started implementing my creative designs professionally. However, I do believe you're never too old to learn, you're never too perfect to learn, or you're never too you always grow, and there's always space and room for more growth and more learning. So yeah, so I will be going through this CEDA process. So what the CEDA process is, it's this board here in Northern America, where they kind of give this accreditation to certain technical degrees. For example, like interior design, that's also a technical degree. Not a technical disease, a technical degree. It's not a technical disease, it's a technical degree, and they give accreditation basically to that. So yeah, so CEDA accreditation, that's something that I am after at the moment. After that's done, I will be pursuing the licensing process, which occurs through this mentorship program that you have to enroll in. And after that, because currently I'm here in Toronto, Canada, in Ontario, there's this body, Arido, that is in charge of this licensing process, and it's like a whole board that gives out this membership and this license to fully trained and fully approved interior designers. So the reason why I am opting for all of this, for going through all of these technical the reason why I'm going through all of this technical training here in Canada, is so that I can take my design projects to another level. And I do believe that interior design is becoming a field that is becoming more and more specialized. And yeah, if not today, later on they're going to kind of restrict the amount of designers, or restrict the amount of people that can come into this industry. And I believe a few years ago, a diploma used to be just fine to practice interior design. But however, as However, now as it's becoming more specialized, as it's becoming more technical, as designers are taking up more responsibilities that were once just allocated to architects, this field is becoming more and more technical, more and more specialized. I think I've said specialized way more than I've too many times. Anyways, so that's my journey currently. However, that does not mean that I am not practicing any form of design. It's all being done remotely. As you know, the world that we're living in is becoming a bit more different as well. Anywho, that's it for today. Sorry that this is not a design video. I am coming up with another design project soon. I have a whole backlog of videos that I have to edit and put out for you guys, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of talk and kind of discuss the process that I am going through, what is currently happening in my design journey. And for anybody who's thinking about getting into interior design, or anybody who's interested into interior design, this is all the information that I had to share, and I hope that it helped, and I wish I knew this before completing my diploma. And yeah, it's really always good to share the information that you have. And best of luck out there for your design journey. And yeah, feel free to subscribe if you want to, if you like my work, and ring the notification bell if you want to see more videos from this channel. And yeah, see you soon.